Physical skills. First, to start, I'm not a specialist in it, so I gained a lot of information from inside from our specialist, but the science behind some things I haven't in my own capabilities. Yeah, I will tell them our vision of how we develop the physical skills from the under-9s till the under-23, but mostly for them it's most interesting till the under-17. And from the under-17 and higher, it's usually also the just strength and performance and preparation. But before the under-17, we do a lot of things to improve the movements and prepare them for the power part. We use an athletic pyramid where we're starting with the under-9s and under-12. It's just filling their backpack with motor skills. So they start with moving well in an all-round way. And that's rugby is, for example, but I have a lot of other examples. So that's the start. After the under-12s, the kids are getting, some kids are getting into the first growth phase, the growth spurt, but we have a lot of different phases, and we test and measure the length, the weight of the kids. We also know the length of the parents to put them in the right growth phase, and depending on the growth phase, we will make a special individual program for every player. For example, this age, we had players, they did, after, next to their training sessions at PSV, they did some power as well, next to it with a personal coach. And we saw that doing power, just lifting weights, was stopping their growing, the body growing. It was just, we call it, later on we'll have about a fat wave and that kind of stuff, but we saw that when we told the players stop lifting weights, just do the football part and get some rest, that they were growing taller and bigger and getting fitter than doing the extra stuff.
Okay, so on the weight stuff, they were doing it in team environment? No, they were
just personal coaching by themselves at home. Their father thought they should do it. And around under 17, mostly under 19, they are full grown. So then it's the moment we will take pressure of their bodies with power and lifting weights. But we have players in our under 17 and under 19 who are a bit smaller or not full grown yet. So they will have an individual program focused on the level before.
При вече от 17 до 23, там повечето играчи са достигнали вече своя растеж и там вече те на максимална степен могат да ги натоварят, без да им попречат на растежа на развитие. Ако видят, че има някой, който не е достигнал този авторитет, не е озрял изцяло физически, т.е. той тега по тази група и работи индивидуално, за да не му спрат растежа, ако знаят, че има още какво да расте. Не искат да го вкарат с останалите. Индивидуално отново се работи на базата.
And the difference between the last phase, move with power, and a specific progression is like we do lifting weights with under 13 and 16, but it's usually very low or their own body weight. We got a question about testing. Every time we test, we do anthropometry. It's like weight and the weight and the length. Next to that, we do sprint testing. We sprint 30 meters, but our most something about the first step, explosiveness. Yes. Next to that, we do agility training, and it's like a change of direction. It's a very simple one. It's just sprinting to depth, and you have to put on your right foot like there, and you sprint back. And the next one, you have to go there, you put the left one, and you go back. Yes. There's a whole lot of science and evidence-based science behind this. I can explain, but what's good to know is we have built a database of all our players who have been at PSV Academy. We know the norm of the best players and who came to the first team, and with that data we have, we make some norming phases, and we can see every player in which norm they are in.
Is it based on? Do you have based on positions?
She's too early because I was. We have player profiles, and we will come later on. I will show how you see it, like the sprint testing and the change of direction, because it's in the player profile. I guess it's 20 meters.
Fixed, did you change, or for the database you need to change?
No, it's fixed. I don't know exactly the length of the sprint.
Около 20 метра не знае, защото това е вече кондиционните специалисти го правят, но казвам, че...
The test is called 505, so maybe you can look it up on the internet. The hand-eye coordination is something we want to do more with it, but we didn't have the right test to test it, so that's why we started to research what's the best one. But yeah, it's more like we don't do it now, but we are busy to find a good test. Okay, physical skills in our on the 9th or the 12th. So you saw an example of the training. It's a lot, but the most important thing is our philosophy is based on this topic.
These three? What do you mean by less of movement?
Less of movement because like we see the children, they don't play outside anymore.
Okay.
They don't
Not
have
in the
movement.
academy, right?
Yeah, they didn't fall from a tree and they like this.
The preschool, you don't speak Brazil, or
Yeah, I can speak about it. You can translate it maybe, but the principle is it's about every thing we're doing about the motor skills with this age is based on those principles. That's why. So maybe that's the introduction, and then you can.
Пета точка. What is pre-performance? What do you mean by pre-performance?
Yeah, we will try. We are training them on a level of under 15, under 16. They get performance, and we do it the same exercise we do it in a lower age, but we don't tell like we're doing it because we're doing it later on, and that's implicit learning. Like they don't know they are training it, but they are training it. This is a lot, but and I'm not going to talk about everything because this is more the specific science base, but it's important to know that every training we do, or everything we do on a training, is based on one of the coordinate abilities. It's like, you see sometimes at school they are learning to dance. Dance is just about rhythm. And the ability of balance is just balancing. And we have some examples later on because we have some video homework, but they need to know that there is...
So what you started with, every training has these or one of these?
One of these,
You must have in each training focus.
Yeah, so and Jesper, the head of motor skills, he is telling us what we have to do and it's based on one of those.
Okay.
No, does the gut
No, it's not important. It's one of the coordinate abilities. So
Okay.
For them it's good to have a look like, if I want to know what clutch is, look it for yourself.
Okay.
Because it's one of the abilities. This is science, like everyone needs to learn those abilities. Underneath this one. This one is underneath this one. So improve this, you have to improve this.
Okay.
To improve this, you have to improve this. So these are the fundamental movements.
Okay.
So balancing and falling is within the ability of balance.
Okay.
Three, they are in spatial orientation. So where do I walk? Balance. How can I keep my balance when someone is hanging on my body?
Okay.
And kinetic differentiation. I'm running, but I'm looking to catch the ball. And the fundamental movements is like throwing, catching, hitting, and aiming. So that's why we are doing the program.
Okay.
The program we have, here you can see what we are doing. Twice a week for 25 minutes. It's part of the carousel training we do with under 9, under 10, under 11, and it's because we want to do the motor skills.
Виждате, ясно, два пъти в седмица по 25 минути, чисто моторика, моторни умения, по 9 до 10 и 11.
Yes. The under 9 to the under 11s, they have a jump square. It's an external company with a lot of trampolines, and once a month, each age is 1 to 9. Once a month, they go there. I will show a video later.
Okay. And the whole training, how much is the whole training for, let's say, 9 to 11 years?
2 hours.
2 часа.
It's not 2 hours only this.
No.
The whole training.
He wants to know the whole training is 2 hours and 25 minutes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
2 часа е тренировката, като 25 минути от
Викам тук един час.
You sure about it? 2 hours? Okay.
За
4 times. 4 пъти седмицата по 2 часа.
And 3 for the
For under 9 and under 10?
10. Yes, a week.
Продължителност, плътност на тренировката, цел и съдържание на тренировката. Общо взето няма база за сравнение.
Then we talked about a pro day. It's a pro dog in Dutch. Once a month we do an extra 20 minutes. Then in the 12s we do 1.5 hour each week. It's inside. It's like motor skills, multi-skills. You see the 13 on a Monday evening, and I will show you some footage. And on a Thursday we do once a week performance. So this is like the transition year from the lower ages till the next ages who are getting like performance and all this.
Okay. И веднъж what is the second line on number 12? The one 30 minutes performance
On the field, yeah. So they are doing something like training of motor skills on the field, but it's like a warming up. And then you go from on 12 to on 13 and on 14. Then we do multi-skills and strength into our sports hall and our gym. And 2 times a week we have performance as well. And it's important based on maturity because we make groups based on the growth phases we talked about.
Okay, not based on age, but based on growth.
Yeah, growth, or it's more like the same with biological age.
Mix under 13 under 14.
Yes.
12 or...
Yep. Yeah, for our motor skills, this is our sports hall within our academy. We can use it every day with under 13 and under 14, but our under 9s, still under 11s, they also are at our development centers. They don't have it. So for the younger ages, we choose to use this one once a month with a pro day.
They can use it, but how often do they use it under 12, let's say?
Under 12 does it once in the Monday evening. But under 11, 9 and 10 they don't use it. Instead of one in a month with a pro day.
But the other they do once a week.
Yes.
Gym study the...
Yes, Red is the company, and as you see, it's like it's a party for the kids. They can jump everywhere, and it's like trampolines, it's like balancing. So with the fun element in it, they do a lot of movement skills. And I have a video later on. And the good thing about the carousel training is one part of the motor skills. And we can choose to leave a child two rounds in motor skills instead of going with the group to every part.
Sorry, I was just missing something.
For the carousel training,
Okay.
we have one part of it is motor skills.
Okay.
But we can choose
Една част от карусела винаги е това. Да.
normally they turn around, but we can choose to leave one
Сеш ли се вчера, където викам, че в карусела 100% ще има координация
because he needs
на
it.
една станция?
And we then will skip another part, but
Как ви?
no sound. So it's
Това
like
е пример
balancing.
за неща, които те правят вътре. Отново виждате, бият се с пръчки, баланс падайки, лазят, карат се. по всякакъв начин, всякакви спортове, целят се народна топка, не ти борба, нещо виждам, не знам,
Jump square. So as I told earlier, the key point of jump square is we want to give them ground forms of movement skills and an open skill environment. And an open skill environment is just like you can do whatever you want. It's not like when you are lifting weights, you have one movement.
Yes.
No, they can do everything, just with the focus on enlarging their movement library, or what I told earlier, filling the backpack of motor skills.
Okay. Което ги обогатява и
And we do it once a month.
един път в месеца.
And every moment we do another team. So it's what I said, periodic team driven. Like the coordination abilities and the fundamental movements. We build in a part of half an hour, just do and have fun. But then we have training focused on one of those fundamental movements.
Okay.
Now we have some examples for how we do it on the pitch. So,
И това е пък вече, когато както видяхте един път седмицата го правят и на терен. Видите? What is the goal here? To build a guy to touch the ground with hands?
Yeah, you have to put him with his back on the ground.
With his back.
Yeah, but you need to stay on your knees, so yeah. And this is a mix of under 9 to under 11.
Това е от 9 до 11, заедно са ги събрали да правят тази тренировка.
And the guy on the left is another template.
Този високия от 10, вчера получил.
This is another example. This is catching, and then after catching you have to sprint.
Около ръка.
При сигнал, като хванеш топката, трябва да спринтираш. Едно упражнение на това. Идеята е наистина да има вариативност и много спортове. You have video with different sports or because I saw it?
Борба, знаеш ли колко клипа има с борба? Нещо като...
Подобно.
For example, this is like rhythm and jumping.
Тук за ритъм, скок,
Coordination.
координация, нали?
This could be a fun part of pre-performance.
Това може да е някаква забавна част, която да е подходяща за U12. Тази фаза, която е pre-performance, преди фазата на засилване на представянето, което се риди в тях.
Training sessions, but we also have video homework, like we do with the field books. I will show you later on, but this is some examples of video homework what we're sending to our kids to do at home.
Това е пример за видео, което дават на някои от децата, които имат нужда от допълнителна работа.
And it's not, they don't need to do it, but yeah, we stimulate and motivate to do it because you will get that.
Да, това не е задължително, но реално казах им, че би им подобрил шансовете за успех в отбора, шансовете за развитие като цяло, така че не е нещо, което е.
Balancing.
This video
It's a video about
това е за
balance.
баланс, окей, домашното баланс.
And you could do it at home with the wall.
Може вкъщи, на стената.
By doing it easy, then they can talk with the mentor, with Jesper, like for example.
Това на колега Свенски изпит за Вив го тренирах.
More harder. For example, don't use the wall, but try to do it in
Ама и да
another
го
way.
снимам, сега няма да...
Има флип-флак, хвърляне назад. Гледай, оп, назад.
Do it everywhere at home.
Отново това е вкъщи, може да се прави
Rhythm.
ритъм, упражнение за домашно, което дава се децата.
They're pretty simple, but we do it like simple because it's easy to do it at home.
И вижте, че са много простички упражнения, но умишлено са простички, за да могат децата да ги правят вкъщи сами.
And now we have hand-eye
И това е
coordination.
пример за ръка и ръка-око координация като упражнение.
Това беше. Да, сега как ще се потвърля.
Тези тестове да ги развият максимално добре.
You have to catch the ball, you have to dribble, and you have to stand on one.
Един крак.
Then we will go to the under 13 till under 16. Alright, the next phase, under 13 and under 16, it's within, why we do the performance, because performance is coming down to, it's starting here. Why we do it, football these days is high intensity, we have a full schedule, so international top level, that's why we are developing them, and we have less rest, so we don't have that much rest because it's full schedule, that's why we do it.
That's why you do what you do.
The perform, yeah. So why do we performance like we do it? It's because of this.
Okay.
And the target is developing robust athletes and prevent injuries on long term. So it's mainly on long term. And robust, we mean like, for example, you see Noah Lang, he's not like this, but he needs to be capable of perform in 3 games within 8 days with more than 60 games a season. Because that's Champions League level, and we are then before for that kind of level. Until the 12. And some kids are in the start of growth spurt, so you see the fat wave. I talked about it with Alex and with Georgie, because we had a goalkeeper yesterday. It looks like he's a bit bigger, but his parents are pretty high, right? It could be that the fat way is like the body is keeping energy into your body to have a growth spurt later on. So sometimes we think, he's fat, he can play, but sometimes he does grow, but maybe he does a lot of physical stuff and maybe a lot of weighting and a lot of lifting weights, and it's keeping him from growing, but he's keeping all the energy he's eating for going to the, and it's from the 12, 13. So if you're 38, it's no fat weight.
And these percentages, it means how close they are to fully grown?
Yes.
Okay. Are we going to speak about these pictures? Or?
Yes.
Okay. Коментирахме вчера, понеже един от вратарите беше малко по-пълничък, но знаем за неговите аудитори, че са по-високи. Тоест, те имат специално отбелязват такива деца, които са така наречената вълна на дебеляване. So the fat wave is about this age, 12, 13?
Usually we see it there.
Okay, обикновено се наблюдава тази вълна на дебеляване, както я казват, около 12-13 годишна възраст.
What you see in the next phase, so it's around in the 13, on the 14, on the growth phase, and those ages. We know that in your body, the first thing that will grow are your arms and your legs. So it's called run. Those are getting bigger first. So what you see is normally I was good at skills, but my legs are growing, my arms are growing. We get a lot of pain around the knees and ankles, and sometimes it looks like they are not good at football anymore. It looks like they don't have control, no coordination. Yes. We call it the growth groups because usually in those ages, growing and pain in the knees, ankles, sometimes your hips. So it's usually that there are players.
How do you deal with it? How do you deal with it?
Yeah, our physio says you can play on until it really can, but you can play with pain.
Okay. Just to tolerate it a little bit?
Yes, you can tolerate it. Yes. After those ages, the rump or the torso gets a lot bigger. So around 15, 16 years old, you see those are pretty long, but they are pretty tight. But then it becomes growing. With that, the weight is increasing, and slowly you're getting to the level of power. So the under 17 and under 23, it's more like they are getting full grown, and we can even more focus on power, individual load management. So what can they have is it too much or is it too less? And programming is like making progress from their individual.
Sorry, just can I ask you, why is the curve like this? What is showing?
Because it's like growth rate,
Okay.
centimeters per month. So in this phase, they grow a lot. So that's why they grow, and then the growth rate will be becomes very
Peter was
on the field. A lot of exercises to increase the acceleration, deceleration. So going faster, but also stopping. Absolute speed, multi-directional speed is, I think, it's difficult to explain. And this one is also difficult to explain. Overarching, it's more like some complex movement, I guess. But
okay. Yeah.
absolute speed, I guess, it's just running straight on in the first 10 meters without exploding them. And multi-directional speed is the same, but while you're sprinting, you need to run like to the left and right.
You in testing?
No, not in the testing. How often do we do it? I told about under 13 and under 14. It's like multi-skills. It's together. They train together. So one group has multi-skills. One group has under 15, they don't do multi-skills anymore. So they don't do it in the sports hall. What they do is more like pre-activation in the sports hall. It's like stretching and warming up. But they do performance on field and strength training after training. Individual programming we do on biological age. It's on body type. It's movement qualities. You can do it as a team, but sometimes as an individual. And it's about adaptability. But it's the most important thing to tell them is it's individual based on the type of body, their quality of the movements, and the biological age. Example of multi-skills would be on 13 or 14.
Това е в залата пример за multi-skills. Do you have some?
No,
Yeah.
So those are two different sports. It's no football.
Волейбол имаме тук долу, не знам какво правят скок.
Базови записки ги мога ти дам.
В тази зала
Кое видео, какво има? Аз гледам след всеки слайд.
20 минути.
Хем да знаеш къде какво има.
И после има 20 минути сила. Вторник и четвъртък каза и съответно завъртат групите след това. Нали, ротираме се. Или може и волейбол, тенис.
Голям потенциал имат.
С ракети за падал, за различни типове.
Еби го в майката на залата. Искам да ти кажа, че средностатистическо българско дете, че е много по-координирано. Те са топ избрани, всяка седмица работят за координация и вижу както себе си едно не се иска.
For example, after winter holiday, after summer holiday, if the kid is gaining a little bit of weight, you give them like a certain time frame. For example, you have 1 month to lose some kilos.
10 години в Германия.
So you eat this or you.
Говорит се немски после.
Natürlich, wirst sprechen zusammen Deutsch.
It can be like in the face, it can be a fat way, it can be the third one was the face, so he started growing his torso.
Пак ще хака някаква тъпотия.
So mostly we just check with the parents, we just check what did you do in the holiday. We check
Колкото в нашата Михала там са научили български.
We can see how much he has grown within the period he was there. So we do a lot of checks before we get in talk with him.
Аз не съм ходил един ден на урок. Сам съм учил граматика, сам съм се опитал.
Then we will, if it's based on food, we will sit with the parents, we will get our performance coach with us, and we make, usually don't make the plan for them, but we like they need to write down what they ate that day, and they
някой им е в чантата.
like 2 weeks, and then he needs to give it to our
Като му отвориш чантата, има 2 парчета пица мало, вместо да има.
Educated them by only just yesterday, and hardly happen because those kids are like fully focused on their own development. So is that there's holiday, we train them to be owner of your own development, and it doesn't stop during holiday.